А что ж-то? Да, всё. Ой, сначала делики. Как же я не люблю этот квест. Припасом. Но у меня есть удачи мне. Что? Зашел и вышел.
Verdict is... Lightning slash! Погоди, а чего тут? Кажется, тут выполнено. Или нет? Что тут? Что тут? Тут и ничего. О, красота. Вроде ничего нет и не должно быть.
There's more! Time for retribution!
Think you can bully me? Look at you, Boozhill!
This will do!
Things are about to get dicey.
Damn you! Take this! To the fairy!
Бля, если кубик с ультой скомбинировать, будут ли швыряться молнии и лететь в воду?
Take this! Finally,
Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding.
Ладно, потом. Приоритет квесты. А чё так далеко? Да почему так далеко бежим? Да почему так далеко бежим?
Rain. If only you could cleanse the corrupt souls of this world.
Душа мира. А откуда у меня 400 хромогемов? А, я же вчера.
Let's get down to business. Going somewhere? Following thunder! Burn! My way to the finally, to the fairy. Let me try my blade.
Shake it and stir!
Taste my blade. This isn't over, cheap tricks. I'm ready. Ha! Fall before me. Here.
I'm a rock!
Fall before me. Verdictus. I'm the This isn't over! Take this! I'm ready to win!
Think you can bully me?
Time for retribution! Taste my flame! Cut down!
Сейчас тут. Это интересно все-таки, блять. Мастер-класс по стрельбе от Елань. Смотрите. Все-таки Елань или Елань? Елань или Елань? Е или Ё? Забыл. Е или Ё? Почему? У меня даже артефактов на ней нет. Ой-ой-ой. церемония древней знати из-за взрыва стихий. Да, нет. Заряженные. Я не использую заряженные. Ладно, просто один, чтобы хоть что-то было. Мастерство стихий.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work on something else.
Почему рейтинг у этой игры 12? Что ты? Ялань, ты ужасно. Опять бежать. Что вы над зоной все надо бежать. Так.
Take it easy.
Вот в Мальстате. Вот тэпнулся, ты уже упал. Ай, молния, прилетела мне в пятую точку. И появилась классная татуха. Вот. Хе-хей. Вроде все.
This blinding sunlight is so... Ad Astra Abyssa. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. It's been getting quite busy. Can't you give me a better price?
Так, что там, что там? Опасная тропа. Трейл ложи. Чё? А чё, я же не прошел даже толком. Видишь, мне еще 2 испытания надо пройти. Ладно. Ой, не так. Ли-юэ. Ли-юэ. Ой-ой-ой. Боже, какой сюжет. Но я не хочу пока делать. Это все точно. Ага, ага.
Ad Astra.
А что дает львиный зев? А это мне же не нужен. Мне же не нужен
Ad
львиный
Astra.
зев. Зачем я? Зачем он мне? Я пока не собираюсь бегать собирать синие шары. Как люди в первый же день ивента закрыли как надо стараться. Не то, что мы обычные смертные. Ага. Раздувка.
You'll get frostbite. Put your back into it.
To ashes!
Swirl, Mark
No
2!
excuse for second. It's time for a flash freeze.
Verdict is?
No slacking off.
Can't handle your drink! Huh.
I must collect myself.
Not breaking a sweat. Chill to the bone, my work. Finished.
Stand clear! Shake it, ass!
Hours this.
Time for retribution!
Shake it, ass! Animal test 6308.
Flash frost.
Eyes on me!
Disgusting.
Absorption test.
Pay your dues.
Animal hypostasis emulation.
Burn!
So soon.
Scratch.
Take this!
Damn you!
Look at you, boozehound.
No escape.
Stand clear. Animal test 6308.
To ashes!
Time for retribution!
Scratch. Stand clear. Absorption test.
So soon.
Verdict is?
Diana special.
So soon.
Shake it and stir.
Can't run from death. Run from death. Prepare yourself.
I'm here. Animal test 6308. Stand clear.
Prepare yourself.
хилы. Или не хилы. Вот в чем вопрос.
The insolent shall be punished. Where are you? Can't handle your drink. Power that ended my shot. Enhanced animal module 75. Blink. Shake it and stir. Absorption test. Animal test 63. Look at you, Foozale.
Or retribution!
Stand clear. Let me amuse myself a little. The merrier.
Eyes on me!
Burning kiss?
Power flows through me. Can't handle your drink. Shake it and stir. Absorption test. Swirl. Mach 2. Mirror image. Diana special. Think you can bully me?
Time for retribution!
Over here. Stand clear. Shake it and stir.
To ashes!
Blink.
Где?
Over here. Absorption test. Can't handle your drink. The more, the merrier.
Burning kiss?
О,
Shake it and stir. Out of my sight. Her Majesty's power flows through me. Enhanced animal models. You can't hide. Think you can bully me? Look at you, Foozale.
Burn!
Out of my
Power
sight.
that ended Python!
Shake it and animal test 6308. Stay clear. Gift. Got you.
Burning kiss?
Mirror images dispersed. Winter shall avenge you.
ура! М. М. Страдать. Или превозмогать.
There's no
Show them.
Another test
Right
subject.
now. Right here.
Let's roll! Freeze! Oh, coming through!
Should place my hammer.
Time for retribution! You're
Emerge right now. Right here.
You're open!
Let the show begin.
You're open!
Suffocate! Have a little.
You're open! Verdict is...
Right now. I'm always watching.
Attaboy!
Picked.
I'll protect us. Right here, right now. Emerge.
Who wants some of this?
No escape. This time. Burn this quickly. Stay right there.
Right now. Emerge. Let's dance.
I must collect.
Yeah. Right here.
So soon. That means the waste time. This is trouble. You can't run from death. Let's end this quickly.
Oh, you're coming through!
Let the show begin. Yeah. Yeah. Hi.
Almost.
Time for retribution!
I guess this is it.
Вроде полегче.
I'll protect us. Yeah. Huh. Right now, right here. No, no. Huh. La, 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 la. Right now, right here. A sight to behold. Right now, right here, right now.
Let's roll! Verdict is...
Let the show begin. Show them. Right here. Right now. Emerge.
Time for retribution! Attaboy! Who wants some of this? Let's roll! Can't catch me.
Right here. Emerge.
Burn!
I'm always watching.
36 минут. Вау. Это просто вау. Так, скупаем все подряд. Все пригодится. Все. Зачистили. Зачистила, не зачистили. Че, я что все собрал? Это не буду я собирать. Че, можно сюжет делать? Есть сюжет, это сюжет.
Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea? I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories. Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity
Всем бы
begins
так
to
делать,
decline
а? Вот
beyond
всем бы так
redemption.
делать, а то засиделись.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking,
Хотя,
the
не мне
Tianshu
судить.
rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess
И
every
нам
candidate
проверять, да?
myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
Забудешь.
Tian!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you
Давай,
think?
сказала джекпот. И как они это перевели?
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a
Ты-то
good Tianshu?
опоры небес, не смеши.
Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingguo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingguo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Когда они эту Паймон уберут хотя бы по сюжету? Ой. Типа, видите, что это? Это летающий ребенок в подгузниках. И никто не орет. Ладно, не важно. А я все купил. Дальше можно... Неплохо.
So, are you buying or not? Auto essential function.
Bonus or a requirement for locomotion on land.
Конечно, конечности не для украшения, ими ходить надо. Да ты мелкий. Я не ищу легких путей. Добраться так добраться.
Не.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it.
А, хитрый очкарик.
Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine.
Скрипит.
They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done. Finished?
Almost.
Do you need a hand? Hoishin is taking some time off at the moment. I'm covering for her.
Кто ты? Секретарь Королевного моря. С ними можно поболтать? Че поболтаем?
By the way, do you have any idea who the assessment officer is this time?
I'm not sure.
Me neither. They'd better get someone who knows what they're talking about, though. I don't want some amateur trying to decide my fate.
By the way, do you have any...
Me neither.
Понял, принял, огурец. А ты что скажешь, охрана? Путешественники. Путешественники. Кто мы? Я тут один. Ну, не считая Паймон. Один. Да. Ладно, давай начнем. Планы Минбо, который... Минбо убежден, что величайший идеал созидания мира. Созидание. Из чего он собирается его созидать? Из песка? Охватывает внутреннюю политику, международные отношения, контроль и другие аспекты. Ага, и знаем мы таких. Простые ясные решения, да. Упал хлеб, сходи подними. Ага. А кто уронил хлеб? Зачем уронил хлеб? Кто изготовил этот хлеб? Проблему решать надо на корню. План торговли отличается глубоким анализом. Во! Тянвэй идеально подходит. Хитрая собачка.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Есть мэм. Мэм.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Что вы будете двое экзаменаторами?
I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces.
Нингуан. Нингуан. Опора небес не может судить по себе. Типа, все люди разные. Все знают, что люди разные, но все судят по себе, потому что кто может быть лучше, чем ты есть, ты сам. То есть психология.
I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Ну а по летающей консерве ты не понял, да? Вот никак, вот, да, вот. Никак. Еще вот этого человека проигнорил. Вот их 4 тут, 4, а не 2. 4.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Люди, которые судят по репутации, это глупо. Репу можно легко потерять и легко приобрести.
Oh, is it my turn?
Мне нравится этот парень.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Да ты прям как Нингуан. Все трое как Нингуан, только каждый...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and...
Oh, okay.
Да. Хорошо, что нам не приходится слушать. А вот
Hello.
ты хитрожопый парень.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the...
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
Человек, который сначала все проверит. Да.
Of course, two different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
Ты еще более не уверен, чем тот толстяк. Понимаешь, ты не можешь принять решение на ходу. Чувак, нет.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Конечно, ты возьмешь на себя ответственность. Конечно.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was...
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary! Paimon couldn't agree more!
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
Whoa.
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
А где эти челы? Что с ними поболтать? Как можно упереться в лестницу? Надо ешку дорабатывать, ребят, надо.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right. Then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Juri was with me for the longest duration.
Oh, so how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tian?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Juri, I was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Juri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you.
Почему старик разговаривает?
There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Вспомнил момент с рыбаком, который в одиночку замочил этого робота с глазом. Короче. Вроде бывший, тоже бывший приключенец. Рано как-то нам его не раскрыли. Либо он...
Fresh fish soup. Mmm,
doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jerry purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Jerry always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows?
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian.
I appointed you as the Had you not asked me why Jerry's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Jerry, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Jerry?
Jerry, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Как же хорошо, что в Монштаде нет такой дичи. Типа люди ходят в церковь, ходят в бар, и все. Никаких проблем. А Маракс накосячил. Что тут только не происходит. Зато все люди радуют. Блин, вот негодую, у меня не упал этот дед. Не упал дед. Смотрите, как это.
Huh? What's Bulai doing here today?
Так что...
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life.
Бей по больному, да? По конкуренции.
Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Беги! Беги! Эти закатники будут мои!
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for...
He sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking... Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the...
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Lean Long. Come on, let's follow them and try not to let him see you. We want this...
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set?
Ай-яй-яй.
Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be Tianchu yourself, are you?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
Пайман, еда тебе, еда. Опа, Иванович. Когда-нибудь ты будешь чем-то торговать, я уверен. Тебе что-нибудь доведут, я уверен. Когда ведут снежную, точно, когда мы наконец-то попадем в снежную локацию. По-любому у него будут какие-нибудь экзотические товары. Опа! Это еще что? Это еще кто? Типа, ну. Джон Ли. Ты отправляешь нас в разлом, куда всем запрет. Красный свет. Ну хоть старый свет искать не придется. Могли бы и озвучить, что уж. Прикинь, оказывается, надо было деда искать. Лол. Лол, я так и знал, я так и знал. Надо было идти искать. Ах. Ся уже сам сказал, он понял, что его спас Джунли, он ему благодарен, и он опять ему задолжал. И нам надо было, то есть мне искать идти. Ай. Ай. В этом весь Геншин надо за соломинку тянуть постоянно. Говорит Бог. Я ведь теперь человек. Я ведь теперь человек. Ну, подумаешь, могу залезть в пространство и выйти оттуда спокойно. Да. Дивный взгляд дракона. Там даже был квест. Ну да, их у меня тут. А это еще что? Чайного доктора лесу из чайного дома Кей что-то тревожит. Меня Елань тревожит. Далеко бежит.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Интересно, а кто-нибудь из стримеров тоже скипнул этот момент?
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yeon made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Чувак, который ужасно ловит рыбу, но при этом дольше всех общался со стариком, который любит рыбачить. Смешно. Я же говорю,
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Zhi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I could tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Тем не менее, подарок он пытается, он покупает подарок.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows...
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Zhi?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Zhi, probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that.
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Juri in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master...
I'm not... Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've...
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Genshin Tea House about what they're up to.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then.
Until we meet again.
Да-да, мастер Дугу.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? What was strange about it?
Давай, Паймон, напряги свои извилины, давай. Там же не только еда, там еще... Ну, другие химические реакции.
Juri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Juri's stories? Clearly, they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond... Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Juri has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Juri was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign. Right, and that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is that's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out.
Someone's trying to gain influence, so even if we ask Juri about it...
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Juri must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, come on, let's get back to Genshin Tea House.
Сначала купим рыбу. Рыба важнее.
Juri's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up? It'll be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Zhi, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Я зеваю не потому, что мне скучно, а потому что я проснулся в 7 утра. И сейчас меня только кофе спасает.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Ха! Жесть, вот это я понимаю.
Oh, this reading is giving time.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers! If you're back, that means...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I...
Don't drag this out. Just tell...
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous, and once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can...
In theory, that should be very difficult, but... Here's the thing. I asked around and found where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skill.
Whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbo.
Well,
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbo struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Ming...
I don't believe so. Mingbo is someone who has slowly but surely earned... According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbo to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbo gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he...
Whoa, that's...
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah! So that's what what you meant by that.
Thank you both. You're free to go now.
Я же говорил, толстяк, мне нравится.
So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
Он, конечно, прикольный, но вряд ли он станет.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan. Chengshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there. So at some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure a long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing.
So, did they find—
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten— the technology wasn't mature enough at that time. So the excavation project— Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seemed— Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on—
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto? Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right—
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Zhi-Yi wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate—
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi—
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than— Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge—
Chenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
У каждого есть другая сторона. Левая и правая, понимаешь, Паймон? Левая и правая. Правая часть лица и левая часть лица вместе одно лицо. Лети вниз.
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Anything strange been going on recently?
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean? Strange how?
Just, stuff that when it happens, you think to yourself, huh, that was weird.
Huh?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere asking questions like that. Let's just take a look around.
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger, but it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think? These newcomers, who could have sent them?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Zhi-Yi recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would maybe do a fresh background check on the place. No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance. It was a clever move.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
You want them to teach you or something? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. They're picking up all the skills unbelievably fast. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night, but they never let us join them. I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll get to know each other over time.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink at Wanmin Restaurant. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away. Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very suspicious. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them and try our luck.
Ну давай. Елань.
He went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up!
Я бегу и тоже оставляю следы, кстати.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Where would be the best place to explore?
The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house.
О,
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation off course.
Darn! Guess this is where our trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Jur-E. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see. Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around. I left him a note at Yenshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Black Cliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Jur-E once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear it?
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Fish soup? What?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hand. Well, any suggestions?
Ах ты! Ах ты!
Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with...
Okay, so tailing.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first...
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one... Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yuehai Pavilion. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show.
Ребята, если кто-то смотрит записи, добавляйте в избранное, чтобы хотя бы знать, чтобы обсуждать во время стрима, как я страдаю. Ладно. Куда дальше? Не понял. Подождите, здесь 9 минут. 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 9 minutes. 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 9 min
It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now, it falls to me to give him a satisfactory answer.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people. Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to
What?
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your great talents.
бы так не сказала. Она бы еще припечатала наоборот. Бы чего? Еще бы там, не знаю, еще бы спор какой-нибудь выиграла, по-любому.
Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future and taking on some of my workload?
Хитро.
I'll have to see.
I don't mind, as long as I can.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official
I will live up to the Tianshu name. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order.
Count me out. I'm not in the...
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
Oh no, if we get stuck here...
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of them.
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Sorry, Lady Yelan. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates? I guess Zhi didn't let us...
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough...
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to... If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too.
Shinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching it. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been... So I stopped Dupe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. Let's go to Shinue Key.
Senua Kiosk. Place to go.
Радует, что некоторые NPC стоят не для красоты, а может что-то у них купить.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
А ты бы спросил у гея, почему он ходит в розовом? Или почему он в одних трусах?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little...
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question.
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time.
Liquor and wineware.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
С одной стороны, да, это очень забавно. Перед тобой чувак переодевается, а ты просто, ну, такой... Ну, окей.
Welcome.
Ну, ладно. Может, он извращенец, а? Кто-нибудь проверял его? Смотрит на телек, как тут переодевается. О, жесть.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wineware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Немного на 20%, да?
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Zhi bought 2.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
Lon, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue kiosk anyway?
Ага,
To
сразу из
celebrate?
2 бокалов сразу.
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Jur-E isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Jur-E's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the
Мне нравится
program, would
озвучка
you?
этого парня.
This is a covert surveillance operation. Jur-E may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Juri bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Jur-E is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves. Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jur-E might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Genshin Tea House.
А, не так уж далеко. Я промазал.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Juri mentioned in his manifesto!
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time.
Что там Елань? Что там у нас?
Sometimes This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
А чё сбросилась? Это же курица. А я-то портит еду. Что есть такого, что я не освоил? Вот можно было бы фильтровать, а? Типа изучено, не изучено, и значок стоял. Чтобы, ну знаешь, было проще искать. Ну, раз они любят все упрощать для мобильных геймеров, допустим.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still, be ready to fight at any moment. Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly and quietly. We don't want to attract too much attention.
Don't worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later.
Что такое? Выпил пол-литра кофе и зеваю. Гео? Погоди, Гео? Что? Гео? Г-г-г-г-г-г-г-г. А, г-г-г-г-г. Г-г-г, Гео. А, вижу.
Let's make haste.
Quiet them now.
Your life is mine.
Thunderclap!
Take it easy. Game's up. Fun is over. Take it easy. As I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Guys, see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji. Looks like that must be the emergency access route.
Опа-на. Так.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Да ё-моё. Моё-моё. О моего. О моё. Эй. Как вернуть платформу? Вопрос. Неужели они не продумали этот момент? А, вот он.
Take it easy. Gotcha.
Shake it and stir!
Time for retribution!
Don't waste my time.
Shake it and yeah!
Fire!
Quietly now. Gotcha.
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that another way through?
Всегда надо использовать стихи, проще найти сундуки и прочие ништяки.
Submit! Give up!
Think you can bully me?
It's nothing.
Чё это уже где?
Lightning flash!
Don't waste my time.
Я эту дверь не открывал.
Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Жесть. Комбинировать купини с Муан — это тоже жесть. Жесть такая.
The waters flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
The door is open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Your life is mine.
Really? Gotcha.
Shake and stir.
Burning tears.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Слишком ли откровенное платье?
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry. That went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tien Shu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qing Shu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tien hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing. What a nasty guy! Seize him!
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
Excellent liquor. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Jurye. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Chen Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jurye has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the? Jur-E, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Jur-E, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan?
How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Jur-E, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
Ну, я надеялся. Ну, в принципе, я понял это еще при первой встрече, но... Чувак, это было слишком.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough. That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan, but you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, Prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's some.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to. Don't worry, as long as they're willing to get some rest.
Ясно. Неплохо. Но что такого не нужно Елань, что он был бы готов это предложить? О, что же ты ищешь? Волшебную палочку Гарри Поттера? Бля, надеюсь, я не попал в точку, это было бы так. Так интересно. Хогвартс. Что я ищу? Я ищу... Ну, неплохо. Да где? Ох, что-то я есть захотел, причем сильно. Уже обед. О, уже надо кушать. Где? Чайный дом Геншин.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. Yes, the exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting...
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Mingbo both have potential.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happened...
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame, I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. But Zhi was still extremely careful. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. And he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes, had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Zhi?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei, still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal.
A deal? Does this have to do...
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have... But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Anna.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon does...
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the... With Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Zhi, we could afford to continue with the diplomatic... Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone.
The Fatui must be spying on us.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved. The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan. Do you have any I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role, as Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly... All right, I'm done here. time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, it's for me to know and you to find out. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian.
What would you like to know? Something I've said to Jury, Qinwei, and Mingguo. Jury and Ambassador Yusupov each saw each other as a means to an end. Scheming is an endless endeavor. If you can't cope with, everyone has self-interest, but you cannot let it be your master. What would you like to know? I first met Yelan when she was very young. An old friend of mine once privately commented to me that, something of an exaggeration in my view. What would you like to know? Regrator is the 9th of the Fatui Harbingers, though likely the first among them where wealth is concerned. However, his wealth is not a mere question of how much more he has to his name. Yet, beyond that, I don't have... What would you like to know?
Ясно.
As Yelan says, now that I'm on the... During this time, I plan to graduate... that reminds me. What would you like to know? Thanks to you, you can always find me...
I'll keep this close.
The key here is consumer psychology.
Как нельзя приближать? Было бы прикольно. Чё это урон? Обычная книга. Я думаю, чё не так? Где урон?
A copy of each invoice is sent to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
А где?
It's nothing.
Да.
A copy of each invoice is sent to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Да. Эти записи.